Have you ever heard somebody mention what they do for their business or career, and you've been interested and wanted to ask them questions because maybe it's something you've also had interest in doing at some point in your life? Well, today I'm going to share the top 3 questions I get asked every time, or most of the time, when people find out that I flip houses for my business. And maybe when I share these questions and my responses, they'll trigger something in you that can help you build and scale your own real estate investing or house flipping business. So stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. My name is Amber Miller, and for the past 15 years, I've been buying, renovating, and selling houses, otherwise known as flipping. And because there's so many aspects to the process, as far as the process goes, and then also the business side of it, it's inevitable that there's going to be questions that people have, especially when they find out what I do. And I get it, because for 5 years, I really thought long and hard about getting into this business myself before I ever did my very first flip back in 2008. So I'm happy to answer questions, which is why this platform is perfect to share these top 3 questions I get asked most of the time. So first question, number 1, how do you actually buy a house to flip? And this is a reasonable question because there are a lot of different options out there. But for me right now and where I'm at with my business, the way that I'm purchasing properties is by using a combination of 2 types of loans. One is a commercial loan through a local bank. I actually have 2 or 3 local lenders that I work with who finance about 75% of the projects. And then for the other 25%, I work with private money lenders. So those are just individuals who are looking for different options for personal investments other than the traditional stock market. So between those 2, it gives me the great opportunity to be doing projects and not having to bring any of my own capital to the closing table, which is exactly the way that I like to run this business. Now, it wasn't always the case for me. Back in the beginning, I did use cash and combine some other traditional mortgage methods with 401k loans. But what I want to make sure people understand with this type of lending is that now more than ever, there are all different types of lenders out there looking to borrow money for people doing the exact same thing that I'm doing. So even though you may not have experience or limited experience, make sure that you are checking out your local lenders. There's programs that have been designed specifically for this type of lending, and there's bound to be a lender in your local market who is just waiting to fund your projects as well. Number 2, the second question I get asked most often is, do I have a background or a degree in interior design? And the answer is no. But I love this question because it ties in with this idea that so many people have, that in order to do something, right, that you maybe aren't used to, or that is new to you, or that you don't have experience or background doing, that you have to have some type of a education or certification in order to make it legitimate. And the reality is you don't. The only thing you have to do is have inspiration that you use to drive your outcome with your projects, right? So if you have Pinterest, if you have Instagram, you have likely seen beautiful images of renovated kitchens, people who are flipping in your market and in other markets across the country. You can look at trends on different publication sites like HGTV and see what are the things that buyers are looking for. You could talk to realtors in your market. Any of those options are going to allow you the insight that you need to make those decisions around design. And those decisions actually don't have to be overwhelming, and they certainly don't have to keep you from flipping. So just make sure that you tap into all of those resources that you have available to create beautiful spaces that buyers will love. Because the thing that holds most people back is they don't want to have to either replace or redo or have a house that sits on the market because they didn't make the right decisions. But if you follow the inspiration and all of the success keys around you, you'll be fine. All right, number 3, last question I get asked is, do I do all of the work myself? And the answer is absolutely not. So while there's certain aspects of a flip that I definitely could do, and over the years I have done, like demo and tile and painting, the reality is for me, I actually am not as good as some of those things as the professionals. So I will leave that work to them. Plus, I don't want to be responsible for doing something on a project, especially if there's more than one project going on at a time, where I could potentially be the bottleneck and keep other trades from getting their work done. Think about painting, right? One person painting an entire, 12 or 1300 square foot house would take quite a while. Whereas if I bring a crew in to do that, they've got the sprayers, they've got the equipment, they've got the system down, and they're gonna get a much better outcome than I am with my cutting in by hand and rolling. So another thing I like to remind people of is when you're flipping houses, you're doing it so that you have the best end product possible. So if there's something that you're really skilled at, like woodworking, and you wanna do like a wood detail wall with maybe board and batten or shiplap, then absolutely go ahead and do that. It's a great feature to add. However, if it's something that you don't typically do, and when it's done, it may not have the same quality as the rest of the renovations that were done by professionals, then you might want to take a second to think about that and maybe let the professionals take care of it. It's gonna save you time and money in the long run. So I hope this video was helpful as I talked about the 3 questions I get asked most often when people find out that I flip houses for my business. I've been flipping houses since 2008, and I love sharing all of my insight, tips, tools, tricks on this channel. So make sure you like this video and subscribe so you don't miss any of the new content coming out on the channel. And until next time, bye for now.